Java provides three types of control statements that can be used to control the flow of Java code. So instead of a sequential flow of code, if you want to continue the statements, if you want to execute the code based on some conditions, that should be possible with the help of control flow statements. What are the various types of control flow statements which provides Java provides? Three types of control flow statements. Those are how many types? Three statements. One is the decision making statements, loop statements, and as well as jump statements. Decision making statements, loop statements, and jump statements. What are the decision making statements? In the decision making, if statements are comes under the decision making statements, and as well as switch statements. In the if, different versions also will be there. In the if statements, different versions, variations will be there in the if statement. That is simple if else, nested if, and as well as else if later. Different versions will be there. Those will be discussed. And switch case. And coming to the iterative statements, if you want to execute the same type of statements repeatedly, that may will go to a concept called iterative statements. Here, do while loop, that is do while loop will be there, while loop, for loop, and as well as for loop, for advanced for loop also will be there. Yes. Fine. And whenever we are going into the jump statements are to stop the, even it is loops or conditions, to stop at a particular, before the program, if you want to terminate the loops, then we will go to the jump statement, which is break and as well as continue. So all these are comes under the control flow statements. What is if loop? How the if loop will be executed? If statement, if is statement is used to evaluate a condition. So it is a control flow statement which is used to evaluate a condition, and based on the condition whether the block will be executed or not. So if condition, if we can specify condition in the if block, if the condition is true, then the statements which are available in the if block that will be executed. If the condition is false, the statements can't be executed. So always if loop will accept, if which accept a type called, what is that type? Either true or boolean, the condition which evaluates, which returns a value called either true or false will be written. If it is true, the true block, if block will be executed. If it is false, the false block is, the alternative else or other blocks will be executed. So the condition, if is used to evaluate the condition, the control flow of the program is depends upon the specific condition. The condition of the if statement gives a boolean value either true or false. In that, there are different variations of if statements are available. What is that? What are the different variations? We may go to the simple if statement, we may go to the if else statement, we may go to the if else if later, or we may go to the nested if statement also. So four versions are there. We may simply go to the only if, or if condition is false, what is the other block? Then we may go to the if else. And in the else block also you can supply number of conditions, or you may also go to the only nested if statements are there. What is the syntax? What is the syntax of if condition? If we have observed that if of condition we can specify and open brace, closed brace, and we will give the statements. So when these statements are executed when whatever the condition we have supplied in the if block, if that condition is true, then only, if the condition is true, then only the statement 1 is executed. Otherwise, the statement can't be executed. The condition is true. If we have want to draw the flow chart, then we may draw like this. start, and we may give the condition statement here. If it is true, then which block will be executed? Then statement 1 is executed. If it is false, no statements, simply it will be silent. No statements are there. And now I have a requirement, like once the syntax are completed, then we can go to the program part. What is the if else? So we may go to the if else. If the condition is true, okay, statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, is there any alternative? Yes, then you may go to a block called, what is that block? Else block. If the condition is true, then execute statement 1. If the condition is false, then we can execute. We will go to a block called else block. The syntax is if condition, specify the condition in if block only, open brace, statements, whatever the statements we want to execute, close it, and after that we can write the else block, else of statement 2, and we can close it. Executes when the condition is false. Yes, there will be if else. Is there any chance to uh, write other conditions? Yes, we may go to the third part called if of condition 1. If of condition 1. Statement 1 executes when the condition 1 is true. In the else block, if you have come to the else block, else, if the condition is failed, one condition is failed, then suppose we are checking whether a person is a senior citizen or below 18 or above 25, above 50 or above 60, whether the person is, based on the age, we want to give some discount offers. So for that, we need to check multiple conditions. So in that case, it will be possible. You can use the if else ladder. What is that? If of condition 1, statement 1 executes when the condition 1 is true. If the condition is false, then it will be executed. It will go to the next condition. Next condition it can go. Then statement 2 is executed. And here you may supply number of else conditions. And finally, if all those conditions are failed, you can write the default else statement also executes when all the conditions are false. Observe the syntax. If else, if this condition is failed, then else block. You can give other if else also. And here also, if you want to write if condition, we may write it. This is if else if statement, multiple conditions. And now nested if statements. You want to execute statements based on several conditions also. You may write, or if you want to check our statement 1 is executed based on the condition 1. If you want to execute the statement 2, one more condition need to be verified, that is if of condition 2. So multiple if blocks. Uh, Instead of else, we can put the multiple if blocks at a time. Nested if, an if which have another if condition. If we have an if condition which have another if, that which is called as a nested if conditions. Just recollect. So this is the if condition, only one statement is there, and the second one is if you want to execute the alternative statements. If you want to execute all the statements, then we will alternative statement. Then we can go to the else block also. Else block. If else will be there. And now we will execute in the else also. We can write other alternative condition. If condition else, and here if you have given the if condition to else statement, and nested if statements we can give it. So now continue with the programs. If so, class demo if public static void main of string args. Now I have declared a variable int a equal to 10 and I want to use the if of what we need to give a less than 10. If a less than 10, I want to print system dot out dot println of a is less than 10. So what I am writing here, I am taking a value as 9. Okay. So how it will be evaluated a less than 10. If the condition is true, it is a Boolean expression. Boolean expression. What a less than 10 will returns? Either it will returns true or false value. If real condition is true, a less than, what is the a value? So 9 less than 10. Yes, 9 less than 10 will be evaluated. Is it true or false? True. Yes, it will be true. Now, how the if block will takes? If of true will be automatically taken. If of true will be there. If the Boolean expression returns the true value, then only this statement will be executed. Otherwise, it can't be executed. Are you with me? First, we can check it. Save the program. Demo if dot java. Java C demo if dot java. Something error will be there. What is that? If block I have closed, main I have closed, and class I need to close. Yes. Why it will not be open? Java demo if I can be it as a compile and exit. Yes, what is the statement it is printing? A is less than 10. Just check it. A is 9. A less than 10 I have given an expression. Yes, it will be true. This expression will return a true value. Then statement will be executed. Suppose if I have changed the value A equal to, is there any statement is printed? No, nothing will be printed. If the condition is false, it can't print anything because here we have used a simple expression called only if condition, simple control statement. Condition is true, then only it will be evaluated. If condition is false, nothing will be happened. For some other clarity, what the relation expression will returns, I want to declare Boolean COND equal to, I want to give the, just for clarity only, a less than 10 and I can print if condition and you can also evaluate system.println of what the COND will returns. Just I am giving a less than 10 here because we need to know whenever we are using the relational operator what it will returns. Okay, a less than 10, it will return a Boolean value. If the condition is true, it will return a true value. If the condition is false, it will return a value called false. Here 19 less than 10 is a false, so it will return a value called false value. I am printing that. So what is the value will be there? I am storing in the if condition because if will accept only either true or false. So here it can't be print. We can check it. Yes, what is the value of condition? The value of condition is false. A less than 10 is a false. You can remove it. A equal to 9. Now what is the value? Yes, condition the a less than 9, a less than 10 is a true. So if block is also accepting the true value. So that's why the block. Just it is for understanding only I have given. Now directly instead of this we can, just it is for understandability only, we can we can directly write the condition here, a less than 10. And now what is the problem here? If the condition is true, then only if block is executed. If the condition is false, nothing will be executed. So you want to print something even if the condition is false? Yes, there will be a second statement called, what is that second statement? If else. If else. What the if else will decide? If the condition is true. So we know that if block will be executed. Followed by, there will be a block called else. It is the syntax. If followed by else. Only else I can't write. So definitely if only if I can write, but only else I can't write. If followed by else immediately. Else block, what it will execute? When it will be executed, if this condition is failed, then only the else block will be executed. So how I can add? So I can add else. System dot out dot println of a is not less than 10. Okay. So you want to check it again? Just you can remove here. Boolean condition, and here also you may print a value called condition value. And here also you may print the condition variable. Then we have clarity when it will be executed. If the condition is true, then if block will be executed. If the condition is false, then else block will be executed. Compile the program. Unclosed string. Okay. Here I want to put the braces. I forget. Yes. True. A is, because we are printing the condition variable also, true. That's why which block will be executed? If block is executed. You can change a value with 90. Compile it. Yes, the condition value is false. A is not less than 10. So what it meaning? If it is a true value, then if block will be executed. If it is a false value, then else block will be executed. So this is the second case of control statement. If only for if block and if else, and there will be sometimes even it is some other condition. What is that? There will be three chances. Either a value will be less than 10, a value will be greater than 10, or a will be a 10 also. Three types of conditions, three possibilities will be there. How I can go through that? So you can also use if else if statement. So you know that if already you know, if condition is true, if block will be executed. In the else block, in the else, again you are writing one more condition. If in the else block you are writing one more if condition. Again, if the condition is true, then if block will be executed. If the condition is false, then false block, else block will be executed. So which is called as a if else if statement, because here there are three possibilities. What are those three possibilities? A may be 10, or A may be greater than 10, or A may be less than 10. So three possibilities. I am checking only two possibilities. So there will be one more condition called else if. So here you can add else if A greater than 10, you may say that A is greater than 10. Otherwise, you may also add one more statement called system dot out dot println. Now, A is equal to. So, not always true or false. Directly not possible of two conditions only. We have more than two checkings will be there. So, A value may be a possible of 9 less than 10 or greater than 10, or A may be equal to 10 also. In that case, I can use the else if ladder. If condition in the else itself, else space in itself, we can give one more condition followed by the else. If condition is true, in the else statement, again we are checking the condition. If the condition is true, the statement 2 will be executed. Otherwise, the else statement will be executed. So, we can check it. So, I am removing all these. A less than 10. Okay, fine. I am executing the if block A is less than 10. Otherwise, if A greater than 10, I am writing A is greater than 10. Okay. Else, these else belongs to this case. Else, A is equal to 10. We can save it. Demo if. Okay. Here we are trying to print. I am removing all this. Forget to close the string literal. Yes, Java space. A is greater than first condition is executed. Sorry, if A less than 10, okay, 19 less than 10, so it will not be executed. 19 in the else block, 19 greater than 10, yes, 19 greater than 10, A is greater than 10 will be executed. Now I want to change the value to A equal to 10. Compile the program. Yes, which statement will be executed? A is equal to 10. Check it. A less than 10? No. 10 less than 10 is false. Okay. And here also 10 greater than 10. False. And now this block is executed. This else block is executed. So if A greater than 10, that condition is a false condition. So corresponding if block, whatever the else block will be there, it will be executed. You know that if A less than 9, automatically first block will be executed. We don't have any worries, but here how it will be executed. It will be comes under a third case called, what is that? If else if case. If else if case. And now we have another if statement called, you can increase the number of else ifs also. You can change again in the else. If you want to write one more if, you may write. If you want to write one more if, you can add it. It is not only for 1 or 2 or 3. You can increase the else if number of else if ladders. You may try. That is your exercise. And now what is the fourth one? Nested if statements. So if the first condition is true and I want to check another condition, then only I would like to print a statements. So instead of a single if condition, if I belongs to the India, if I belongs to the AP, then eligible for APSHA, APSHA certifications. Otherwise, I am not eligible. You want to do like that, so you can use the nested if statements. So how I can do that? Nested if. So instead of, so you may take it. You may take a variable called string equal to string CONT country equal to India string state equal to AP if condition country equal to India first condition, and I want to give if state equal to AP eligible for APSHA certification. So if two conditions, you can add the else, but first I am telling that if country equal to India, then you can check the state. If the country equal to US, you no need of checking the state. You are not yet eligible. So you want to check more than one condition. If first condition is true, then only you want to go to the second condition. Like that, you can use the nested if also. Other alternatives are also there, but you can also go through this type of syntax. If country equal to India, then I will go to the state. If state equal to AP, then you are eligible for APSHA certification. If state equal to some other UP or Punjab or some other states, you are not eligible for the APSHA certification. So we can go through the execution. Yes, eligible for APSHA certification. APSHA certification. I would like to change UP. Nothing will be printed. Why nothing will be printed? Because even first condition is true. The second condition was failed. Not will be printed. Not will be printed. So you want to add the else statements also. If country equal to India, where you have failed state, so you can immediately below here you can add else statement called println. Now state is sorry. Your state is not AP, so you are not eligible for APSHA. Sorry, your state is not AP, you are not eligible for APSHA certification. So these else for what? These else for I am writing for only AP condition. So we can go through what we have. Okay, fine. Sorry, your state is not AP. You are not eligible for APSHA. Similarly, so this else block will be this one. If you want to add for country also, you want to add for country, you can add country for this block for yes. Sorry, You are not an Indian. Indian. So not eligible for appeal. The first is no need of here it will not go to the this one immediately. If suppose if I am going change the country as US, else without it. Yes, so here we can close the main if sorry you are not Indian, so not eligible for